The beautiful way Richard Goodall sang Journeys Don't Stop Believin' won over many hearts. But this story is much bigger than what you saw on TV. From his poor beginnings as a worker in a small town as a cleaner to a big deal that made the internet crash. Richard's path to fame took many turns you didn't see coming, which you missed on America's Got Talent. Help us tell the story of the man whose story shows that dreams can come true at any age. A normal junior from Terre Haute, Indiana, named Richard Goodall won the prize Golden Buzzer at season 19 of America's Got Talent. This is what every contestant hopes to achieve. The moment he got the Golden Buzzer was nothing less than amazing, touching, and beautiful. But there is a secret to his amazing success that makes you feel good and gives you hope. You'll be shocked by what we learned about Richard Goodall. But before we get into these specifics, let's look back at his early life and the hard times that made him famous. Early life. Richard Goodall was born and raised in a small American town. He grew up with family and friends who were always there for him but couldn't always meet all of his needs. Richard found out early on that he was good at singing and started to develop it. His Radio Shack radio was his best friend. He would often lock himself in his bedroom and sing along with his favorite songs, hoping for a dream that was always out of reach. Richard joined the band when he was in high school, which helped him improve his singing. His love for singing grew over the years, and as an adult he joined a gospel choir. He sang in the praise choir for 8 years until the coronavirus pandemic forced them to stop meeting. Richard's love of music came from a strong desire to make a difference in people's lives. Richard wasn't interested in fancy things because he was a simple guy who only wanted to reach his goals. As he got older, though, responsibilities and the need to be financially stable took priority over his singing goals. Since he couldn't afford college, he had to find a steady job to meet his basic wants. Don't know which way to go. He got a job as a cleaner at Chauncey Rose Middle School, which was low level but stable. The job gave him a sense of security, but it wasn't what he really wanted to do. Richard was very proud of his work and did it carefully, making boring jobs into fun times for teachers and students. He never forgot to take out the trash, sweep the floor, and wipe down the tables for 23 years, making sure that the students and teachers could live there safely. Even though his job is very humble, Richard didn't give up on his goal of becoming a musician. He would belt out some jams while doing his job, filling the hallway with the sound of his beautiful voice. His voice wowed both students and teachers, and no one missed his show. They told him he should take his ability outside of Indiana and praised his unique voice. This gave him more courage and made him want to go after his dreams even more. Richard had always loved singing. It made him happy and helped him forget about his troubles. "I just like people to smile and have fun and forget their problems for 3 minutes and 30 seconds, however long the song is," he stated. Every chance Richard got, he used his song to motivate people. His fame at school quickly grew as a singing janitor. He performed at many school events, especially during Veterans Day celebrations, where he often sang Lee Greenwood's "God Bless the USA." People who wanted to be singers felt fulfilled by his music, which gave them hope for a better future. The kids loved him, so they called him Mr. Richard. Others thought his job was insulting and pointless. Richard saw it as a chance to teach the kids around him about morals and discipline. "Being a janitor or a custodian, you have a certain platform," he said. "The kids love you because you love them, and they know that you have one of the nicest jobs in the school. As a cleaner and janitor, I taught them little things like yes, sir, no, sir, please, thank you, and so on. I'm not a teacher, but it goes without saying that you can teach people small things that will help them in life. And those things are immeasurable." Richard's commitment to his job and music showed that he loved helping people and being successful. In Terre Haute, Indiana. Richard was a janitor and a member of a strong local band called Manipause. They played in bars and on the streets all the time. Richard often played with the band in his free time to forget about his problems. As he got older, his commitment to music didn't change, even though life's responsibilities and challenges pulled him in different ways. He stayed strong. Little did he know that his drive and determination would lead him from the humble halls of Chauncey Rose Middle School to a stage that would change his life forever. The AT moment, the America's Got Talent moment. Richard decided to try out for America's Got Talent because his students were always encouraging him. If it were up to him, he wasn't sure if he was ready for the journey, since he had been turned down for America's Got Talent in 2009 and then The Voice. It was like a double confirmation that he wasn't good enough. The kids at school kept telling him how talented he was, though, so he could persist. The second time, Richard chose to try AG. Like always, he hoped that things would be different. Even though he was sure of himself, he dropped his hopes, even though he knew he was enough. Richard finally reached his goal of being on the long-sought-after AD stage in 2024. After many failures, he was standing right in front of the tough judges Howie Mandel, Sophia Simon Cowell, and Heidi Klum. When Richard walked out on the AGTs for the first time, he felt a wave of nerves go through him. It was almost surreal for him to be in front of the judges and a live crowd, knowing that this was his chance to show the world how talented he really was. Even though he tried to calm down, his stress was clear. Simon Cowell's words, "Shake off those nerves, we are here, we are rooting for you." Richard and the cheers from the crowd helped Richard get back on track. As he took a deep breath, he started his performance, and what happened next was amazing. The judges and crowd were skeptical at first, but as soon as he sang the first few lines of his signature song, "Don't Stop Believin'," they were amazed. With Simon Cowell's thumbs up, Heidi Klum's enthusiastic cheers, and Howie Mandel's smile made him feel good about himself and gave him confidence. The audience also gave Richard their full support. Their cheers, applause, and standing ovations made the room electrifying and made Richard's show unforgettable. You could feel the energy in the room, and the crowd's immediate reaction made him even more sure of his skills. After his performance, the mood was filled with excitement. When the judges told Richard the decision, he broke down in tears of happiness. Simon Cowell told him, "You are my hero because that was truly special, and I think America is going to love you." Judge Howie told him, "You cleaned up the performance," which made him feel loved. What came next, though, was shocking. As the crowd looked with anticipation, Heidi Klum praised his outstanding performance. "You really shocked me, hey. Now. This is what I'm going to do for you because I love you," she said, slamming the golden buzzer. Richard was showered in golden confetti, putting him in the spotlight. There were tears in Richard's eyes, and he later told the crowd, "I've never even been on a plane. Making it to California was not on my list of things to do. It's like a dream come true." Richard, who was already proud of what he had done, called his fiancée Angie to tell her the good news. She was proud of him. But it was also clear that she wasn't shocked that his smooth voice got him a golden buzzer. It's too bad she couldn't share the times with him because she didn't have enough money. A video of this moment went popular and was shared on. Some of Richard's schoolmates used YouTube to show their unwavering support for his brave actions. There aren't enough words to describe how lucky I am to be one of the kids who always told him how great his voice is. This sound is my best thing to hear as I walk through the school hallways. Richard, you really are a hero. Another person said, "He cleans the school where my kids go, West Vigo." Last night they were so happy for Mr. Richard that they screamed and cried tears of joy. I was there with them, and so was everyone else in Vigo County. We're so happy for him. He is so humble and kind that this could not happen to a better person. I can't wait for people in the U.S. to see what people in Haute Compt have been able to see for 20 years. Mr. Richard, let's go. It was clear that everyone agreed that Richard deserved the golden buzzer, but had also changed many lives. His show was a clear example of how extraordinary ability can be found in everyday places. His performance wasn't just a song, it was a message of hope and determination, and it served as a lesson to him and others to never give up on their dreams, no matter how hard things get. When the cameras stopped rolling, Richard went backstage and had a private chat with the directors. He told the ATD directors, "I couldn't help but cry, you know. I mean, me, I'm just a normal person. I clean the tables, take out the trash, and sweep the floor." Afterwards, he said, "I kept singing to the kids what I do didn't change. Don't stop believin' has become a motto, you know? I got a gold buzzer," Richard thought back to his childhood and said, "I was that kid in my room with the Radio Shack stereo, living alone with my music was my favorite thing to do. I would sing along even though there were a lot of good opinions. Some people were not sure about his performance." This Reddit user said what he thought about Richard's showing. "I think a lot of people on Reddit like Richard because he has a great voice and doesn't have a sad story. That being said, I don't really like his voice that much. That would be too much. I don't want every sad story to get golden buzzers. It's getting silly. There were times when Richard's voice let me down, but not as much as you think. As someone who is in his mid-50s, you can say that it's amazing, which it is, but let's see how he does in the semis." But this comment doesn't come as a surprise because fame can bring both good and bad responses. In spite of this, Richard's fame kept growing like flames. He was not ready for the attention that came after the show. Since the show aired, there has been so much love, Richard told WTWO-TV. "There are so many that I can't answer all of them. Thousands and thousands," and Richard's bandmate Tom Greenberg wasn't shocked by what happened. "I knew that was going to happen," he said. "He deserved it. He's so great. And Journey, I mean, he's the best when he sings on a Journey song. He's just the perfect Journey singer," he said. The GoFundMe America's Got Talent page also said that they would pay for all of Richard's travel costs to the competition. As you know, Richard is just a regular janitor and doesn't make much money, so it's hard for him to pay for plane tickets, lodging, and other costs. But here's where the story gets interesting. Chris Burson, who also lives in Terre Haute, Indiana, started a GoFundMe campaign to ask viewers for help. He wrote, "Let's give Terre Haute, Indiana's AT Golden Buzzer winner, our support." Richard Goodall traveled to the first competition alone on his first ever flight. He is going back to compete at the next level for 10 days in August, and your generosity will help him have a worry-free experience financially, with family to go with him and anything else he might need. His travel and lodging are covered, but not his support group or other costs. The response from viewers was amazing. The campaign began on May 30th, 2024, and by July 19th, 2024, it had already reached its goal of $19,000. Fans' love and support was overwhelming. They did it to show their appreciation for the man who had inspired them in life. Together, they made sure Richard had everything he needed to move forward on the show. Despite his newfound fame, Richard stayed the humble janitor from Terre Haute, Indiana. "How could I possibly become a diva type of person? I'm not. That is not going to happen," he said. "I am not a fancy person. I never have been, and I never will be. I am a basic person, just like everyone else," he said. As of today, Richard's video has over 19 million views on YouTube, making it the most watched America's Got Talent video this season. America's Got Talent showed the world Richard's amazing talent, but it only touched on his emotional story. Here are some things America's Got Talent didn't tell you about Richard Goodall. How I got to be on America's Got Talent 1. Challenges and struggles. The journey to ATD. Richard Goodall's rise to fame is a story of how to keep going even when things get hard. He never gave up on his dreams even though he was old. His desire to try out for AT came from a lifelong love of singing. As a child, he had always wanted to share his music with more people, and AT gave him a chance to make that happen. In the year 2009, Richard was brave and tried out for America's Got Talent. He was ready to show off his singing skills because everyone was looking forward to it. He had high hopes, but they were dashed when he didn't make it past the first round in Chicago. For a while, Richard was heartbroken and devastated, but he soon found the strength and confidence he needed by telling himself that every setback was a blessing. You won't be going on to the next round, which is too bad. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you next season. It broke Richard's heart again. He was shocked that the show didn't want him. The email was very different from all the nice things people said about him on social media. It seemed like someone had lied to him about his voice, or that the compliments were meant to make him feel better. Richard had There was a dark time of self-doubt and sadness. Just so everyone knows, I'm worthy of the voice. He wrote on social media to show how angry he was. I will try for ADT though. People like me don't belong in this world though. Thanks for all your help, Richard Goodall. A lot of fans responded right away with support. It's not that you're not good enough. Hey, they only see it as yours, not the young, traditional standard they need. Hey, bullying because you sing so well. Biggest mistake the voice ever made, said someone else. Hey, you are truly amazing. Even though he was in a tough spot, Richard stayed positive and kept telling himself that he was good enough. He was sure that he had what it took to be successful. Richard's hopes were raised again by the kids at school who kept trying to convince and cheer him on. He worked hard, and soon enough he was on the stage of America's Got Talent after many years of hard work. But before that, Richard had already had a taste of internet fame when his version of Journey's Don't Stop Believin' went viral. The moment that went viral in 2022, Davis pupils and staff at Park Elementary School, kids in the 5th grade graduated, and to celebrate, there was a talent show. After the event was over, the teachers asked Richard to sing a song for the kids. He didn't know it yet, but things were about to change. In the past, he sang Lee Greenwood's God Bless the USA, but this time he picked Don't Stop Believin', a powerful song that would encourage the kids to. Richard walked out on stage wearing jeans, sneakers, a ball cap, and a very large set of keys on his belt. As Don't Stop Believin' started to play, his golden voice struck a chord with the crowd, making an unforgettable moment in their hearts. The students couldn't fully understand what they were hearing, but they were clearly having a good time, waving their arms, and eventually, the adults in the room were amazed. After the first line of the song, someone near the camera screamed, "Oh God," they were so excited to dance, and you could hear the surprise in her voice. Mariah Denai, who works with a student with special needs at Davis Park, was moved by Richard's powerful performance and decided to record it. She later posted the video on TikTok, which showed not only Richard's raw talent, but also his deep musical skill. The next day, while Richard was performing After Richard finished his regular tasks, Denai told him that she had posted a video of him on TikTok. By that time, the video had over 100,000 views, and by the end of the week it had over 1 million views. People were shocked and impressed that a janitor could have such a great voice. Richard had no idea that he would become famous. He said, "I don't know what to think of all this." Richard had been posting regularly on his TikTok page, but it was this performance that got him his big break. He sang to inspire the crowd with the song's lyrics, but he wasn't ready for the fame that would follow. His sudden rise to fame opened up more opportunities for him than he could have ever imagined. His video went viral, and everyone saw it. Steve Perry, who used to be the lead singer of Journey and helped write Don't Stop Believin', was one of the important people in the music business who we talked to. When Perry watched the film of Richard singing, the way he did was so moving. Perry shared his love on Twitter on June 29th by writing, "I love this." Perry said the same thing on TikTok, where Richard shared the video on his own account. Richard was shocked by Perry's answer because he had a lot of respect for the famous artist. He never thought someone with Perry's fame would notice him, and the response made him feel good about his skills. To show his deep appreciation, Richard told Steve Perry, "I love your music, sir. Hey, thanks for your feedback. It means a lot to me." He clearly admired Perry because of how he answered, which showed how much he respected and liked the singer. That wasn't the end of Richard's fame, it was just the start of something bigger. Richard got help from people all over the world, and soon he had even more friends. To show their support, the official Journey account on TikTok shared Richard's video. "This is the most shocking admission," was from Howie Mandel, a famous performer and judge on America's Got Talent. Soon, he would be in front of Mandel. He made a video responding to Richard's TikTok with the words, "Richard needs to be on ADT." At first, Richard couldn't believe it. He thought it was a random fake account trying to trick him, so he tried not to get too excited. It wasn't real. But when he knew it was real, he was so happy he couldn't describe it. It was really great. As if that wasn't enough, Richard got to perform with Rudy Cardenas, one of the top singers on American Idol, on August 27, 2022. It was a chance he would never forget. Richard didn't think twice about telling his fans about this great news and letting them know when and where the event would be. Richard's film went viral and won the hearts of. He was so impressed by Rudy Cardenas that he asked him to act on stage with him. Even though he had been asked to perform on stage many times, Richard had never sung with a famous person like Rudy Cardenas before. Richard remembered how poor he used to be as he stood on stage in front of a big crowd. He was amazed at how far he had come. Before they started to sing, Rudy told the crowd about Richard in a unique way. Richard and Rudy's act together was magical, and it made everyone in the crowd believe in their dreams. That Richard and Rudy were able to work together shows that dreams do come true. If you dream it, you'll get it. Later that same day, Richard put up an Instagram video of their show. And in the text he wrote, "What a great day. The Drake family set this up. So thank you, Jeff Gindhart and Chelsea, for filming me and being my brother from another mother. And everyone who works at the mill. The great band and my friends from Terre Haute who were there. Hey, I hope there are more. Hey, you guys are still having a good time. Richard and Angie." The sudden fame was also good for his band, Menopause. Suddenly, the band started getting offers to play at different bars, which they had never done before. They took every offer, and very quickly, they were full. Fans who came to see the band play were amazed by Richard's singing skills and stage presence, and they were full of praise and respect for him. Richard shared this great news on his Instagram account as well. And just like that, we're booked every weekend in July. Thanks for all the hard work that the Broken Rock Band did. And the boss of the band for getting the gigs. We'll see you all at 7:30 on Saturday night at Archie's Sports Bar. Do not forget a message. More than 10 million people have watched the video of Richard's cover since Mariah Denai put it on TikTok. Several news sites, including ABC News, had also talked about him and how grateful he was. It's fun and makes me feel good, but I'm still the same person I always was. I'm just me. This answer from a humble janitor showed what kind of person Richard really was despite his fame. He stayed a poor cleaner. In an interview, Richard talked about all the chances his band had and how Perry responded to them. I was almost in tears because this is the music and artists I grew up with, he said. I haven't had any official training. When I was a kid, I put speakers all around me in my bedroom, turned on the radio, and just sang along. When asked how he balances his job as a school cleaner with his love of singing, he said, I'm not just the guy who cleans tables and takes out the trash. I want people to be happy and smile. Richard said he chose to perform the Journey song to empower his kids to never give up on their dreams and believe in themselves. It was clear that Richard wasn't just a normal cleaner, he was a normal man with a strong will who wanted to make the world a better place. 2. Marital problems. During Richard's groundbreaking moments on America's Got Talent, he talked about Angie, his fiancée and new lover. But there is a backstory that many people don't know. Richard had a wife named Patricia Sue. She was a loving and supportive wife who often shared news about her life. She posted pictures of her husband's concerts on Facebook to show her unwavering support. They were perfect for each other and had a great time making memories together. They were together for 30 years and had a lot of love and respect for each other. Pictures on Instagram showed that they spent every Valentine's and Christmas Day together, showing how close they were. Even though Richard worked as a janitor, Patricia stayed faithful to him. Patricia was diagnosed with cancer, which took a sudden turn in her life. Despite treatments, the cancer spread throughout her body and caused her a lot of pain. Patricia died on June 21, 2021, at the age of 74, leaving behind a grieving family. It was hard for Richard to live without his wife, and he shared the sad news on Instagram that day with tears in his eyes. I'm so sorry. Cancer is like getting punched in the gut, falling to the ground, and then being told to get back up and start all over, he said. But Richard quickly got over his problems, and in 2022 he found love again. On August 25th, he posted a picture of Angie, his new girlfriend, on Instagram with the caption, "Fun night with my Lane at Taco Tequila's." It looked like Richard had found love again. The picture made it clear that they were really crazy about each other. However, it's great that the singing cleaner has found love and fame. Let us know what you think about Richard's performance and his rise to fame in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and if you like this video, make sure to click on the next one on your screen.